Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am ZBest. This video is another video in the series of Personal Mission Sector 3, breakdown of all the missions. This is Windhund for Ambush. With that, let's get into it. So, most importantly, make sure that you know what tanks in your garage work for which missions. There are tanks that you can make your life way easier. One way is to also see what tanks are available for the missions. Go to tanks.gg, you can go to all tanks, go down to role, and then you can filter. For ambush, it is going to be sniper and support. So one of the most important things to keep in mind for ambush is you have access to lots of auto-loading heavy tanks. So the Kron line, the 50B line, you also have access to the Italian heavy tanks, not just the regular ones, but the premium ones. So like the Bisante C45, this actually has some armor. You also have access to the Caliban. You have access to the Gonzalo. These make your life significantly easier for specific missions. So, and actually, I'm noticing this now. It looks like the T-34 also counts. That is actually something that I did not know before. So, this is why you want to actually look, because and the Liva. So there's a lot of tanks. There's some actual straight up heavy tanks, which might make your life easier in some missions. Anyways, let's get over to the missions. For number 1, ambush is score 6 armor penetrating hits and cause 1000 HP of damage. Honestly, I recommend just low tier tank destroyer, but anything can do it. You just need to pen and do enough shots of damage that you get the 6 and 1000. So you can do this really with anything. As for number 2, this one is be the top player on your team by experience earned. I just recommend a medium tank or a heavy with good XP multiplier. Now that I see that the T-34 is an option, maybe you could do that. Honestly, it'll be like a tier 6, 7, or 8. Pretty straightforward. Now for number 3. This one is destroy an enemy vehicle having received no prior damage to your vehicle, or cause 2000 HP of damage to enemy tank destroyers and medium tanks. I recommend for the first variant a sniping tank destroyer. Basically sit back and do a bunch of damage and try to destroy things from not being shot at. So things like grill at tier 10 or stirve, but you can also play more up front and try to not take any damage. Just kind of hit or miss. You can also use autoloaders for it. As for the 2000 HP of damage to enemy tank destroyers and medium tanks, a lot of heavy tanks in Matchmaker lately. So this one was a little bit difficult, just Matchmaker based. Sometimes there are very few medium tanks and tank destroyers. That said, an autoloader makes this mission a lot easier because you can do a lot of damage to a medium or a TD very quickly. So things like 57, 50B, MBTB will get your 2000 to a tank destroyer or medium tank quite fast. As for number 4, cause 1500 of damage to enemy medium tanks, or destroy an enemy vehicle outside the view range of your vehicle. Again, same exact thing. For this one, just a tank destroyer. 1500 HP of damage to enemy medium tanks, just an autoloader. It's go to where the medium tank engagement is, or go to the heavy brawl and hope there's a medium tank there, and you just dump a clip. Number 5, destroy 2 enemy lights or medium tanks, or destroy an enemy vehicle spotted by you. Now, my experience is this spotted by you mission is not you exclusively. If you are also spotting the vehicle, it counts. The in-game counter does not seem to be recognizing it, but for me, it seemed like as long as I was also spotting it, it worked. So if you were spotting it and 1, 2, 5 of the tanks are spotting the tank, as long as you are also spotting it, it works. So keep that in mind. Again, autoloader is probably best for kills. Number 6. Score 5 armor penetrating hits in a row, cause 1500 HP of damage to enemy vehicles. This is definitely a fast firing, good pen medium. That's what I highly recommend. The other one that you could also use is a stirve. That's really another option. I didn't have a stirve at the time, or wasn't using one. I did it with I think a Vickers, but you can also do it in any other kind of medium, or really any tank, just something that you feel like you can be consistent. The reason I say something that's fast firing, because I honestly kept not doing it and doing it all at the end, like my last 5 shots of the game or last 6 for later missions. So you fire a lot of shells at high tier with medium tanks, up to like 30 or 40. So if you fire enough shells and you keep trying to pen, you should get it. But yeah. Anyways, yep. Sorry, I got confused by the other row. That said, number 7, cause and assist, total of 4,000 damage. Just anything, go high tier, really straightforward. Really at tier 10. Tier 11 if you're struggling. Ambush 8, cause twice as much damage to enemy vehicles as your vehicle's hit points. Tank destroyers are probably going to be the easiest for this, especially once you start seeing the harder versions for the Dravik and Blackrock. But at least for Windhund, it really doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you can do it in any tank, because it's about 5k damage, 5 to 6k damage for most tanks. And for tier 10 mediums, it's about 4,000. Heavy tanks about 4,600 to 5k. So just keep that in mind. As for Ambush 9, cause 2,000 HP of damage while remaining unspotted at the moment the damage is caused. My experience is if you fire the shell and then get spotted, it counts. So as long as you are behind a bush and you are not spotted and then you fire and then you get lit, that should count. But sometimes these things can be finicky. I recommend a high alpha tank destroyer. I think I did it in the DBV, but grill should also work. 114 SP2 or 268, just the standard. Whatever high alpha tank destroyer that you're sniping in, because you basically fire. If you get spotted, you pull back, reload, and rinse and repeat. For number 10, destroy 4 vehicles of 2 different types, or cause 2,000 HP of damage during the first 4 minutes of the battle. For the destroying 4 vehicles of 2 different types, really anything will work here. I recommend autoloaders or auto reloaders. This is where I definitely recommend some of the tier 8 premium heavy tanks that you can actually use for these missions, because it's a lot easier to get kills if you are able to brawl and take hits and you're not constantly trying to stay at the edge. That's why I would recommend potentially even the T-34, but that's a long reload. So things like the Basante C-45 or T-77, those sorts of things. Also, some reasonable mobility, because you want to be able to get there. For the second way to do it, the first 4 minutes, 2000 HP, something that's quite mobile and has good DPM or has an autoloader. So that's why something like a 50B or a batch at high tier, you can also get away with things like the Lorraine 40T or even some of the tier 7s. You might be able to get 2000 in the first 4 minutes. First 4 minutes is when battles take only 5 minutes, the battle might be almost over. So a lot of this is also really matchmaker dependent. So you just kind of have to get the right situation. Now for ambush 11, high caliber, remember it's the stipulations of top damage, but you also have to be 20% and no teammate hit. So just remember that. And I recommend an autoloader or your best tank destroyer. Just try to get the high caliber. High caliber is a lot of damage at tier 10 and 11. Again, I recommend this at like tier 7, 8, 9. 8's probably a sweet spot because Matchmaker likes to prioritize same tier, and there's a lot of tier 8 in the Matchmaker, so you're most likely going to get an all tier 8 battle. That's about 5,000 damage, or in that realm, 4 to 500, 5k. As for ambush 13, tank sniper, oh, wrong one, the 12, cause 3,500 of damage to enemy vehicles that are moving when hit. These can be barely moving. So if you're looking at a tank that is poking a corner and it starts pulling back, and you shoot it as it's pulling back, that will count. Or even if it's not fully stopped, like it slams on the brakes, but it's still sliding, as long as it's not at 0, which rarely is a tank actually at 0, then it won't count. So you really want to just time it to where they're, pull up, poke, and then as they're reversing, then shoot. High Alpha Tank Destroyer is the one that I did it in. It made it really easy. Now, Ambush 13, this one is, in my mind, the hardest Windhund mission by far. It requires a lot more, like just very specific things. And because it's a metal, it can get kind of screwy. If I recall, you have to hit 80% of your shots, and you also have to do the most damage from at least 300 meters, and just a couple other stipulations. I think it's at least 1,000 damage. So you just kind of have to read into it and have a good game when you're sniping. But it's one that took a while. Make sure you play in a tank that you are confident in hitting and penning. Stirb is pretty good for it. You can also get away with it in like a grill, or if you're at lower tier, you might be able to get away with even something like a Panther too. But you also have to pen, so that's why high pen tank destroyers are normally best. 14, this one's kind of hard to do without specific tanks. Destroy an enemy vehicle causing at least 1,500 HP of damage. The reason why I say specific tanks, the best tanks to do this in are the MBTB and the Phoenix. So the Waffle E100, just the special one. And I know those are two of the rarest tanks. Those make it way easier. However, it is still possible in things like a Bat Chat, the ASXX 40T, which is the tier 11 Bat Chat. You can also potentially do it in things like a T57, or auto reloaders are actually another underrated tank type for this, because you can do a shot or two and then reload and then dump the full clip and try to get it that way. Now, to wrap this up, On to mission 15. This one's cause 4,500 HP of damage to enemy vehicles. This is just anything. Like, in my mind, this is really straightforward. Go tier 10, go tier 11, do a bunch of damage. Easy enough. Anyway, that wraps up this video. Again, make sure you know what tanks can count. You can sort it in the garage or go on tanks.gg, see what it is. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Feel free to join my Discord, like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I will see you guys around.